here we are. This is the finale. It is very late. I gotta get back to work in the morning, and we all gotta vote. So even if I'm just keeping my word to a couple of people that have watched this, uh, I'm gonna go ahead and do that because I said I was gonna do this. I've been very distracted with. We had some crazy stuff go on here with the weather, cleaning up all kinds of crazy stuff. But anyhow, just going to go over a couple of points, and we're going to finish up here with global warming, flat tax. We're going to put this stuff to bed, and then we're going to get to bed. And I am going to get to bed. So, and maybe even gun control and a couple other things. So, global warming. Okay, this is something that has driven me nuts for a while now because I can't understand how so many people could get sucked into this thing and be talking about it like it's a real thing. You know, maybe because it's my engineering background, I have a little bit more understanding of some stuff. And I think about these things. Maybe that's what, I don't know. But here it goes. Back in 1979, let's just go back a little bit. If you go do Google search and type in the new ice age or just new ice age and see what comes up, you're probably going to bring up the cover of Time magazine in December of 1979, because back then we were having a cooling phase that the Earth was going through. Okay, within about a degree, just like between the years 88 to 98, we were having a peak. It was a cycle. If you look at the whole thing, it kind of goes like this. A cycle. Okay? So, that's why even after they said, okay, well now we can't call it global warming anymore, we're going to call it climate change. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's call it that. Okay. So now, climate change, because we had a flux in the low and then we had a flux in the high, they said, well, it might not be about another 10 years till the warming comes back. Oh, what a great idea. They might have it timed just right now. So, anyhow, you know, CO2. Okay, let's just get into that. CO2 is a naturally occurring gas that is emitted by plants, trees, the oceans. Oh yeah. Check the record. And it is also absorbed by the oceans. The thing is you need to look at this stuff and you need to understand that people have these crazy ideas and they want to do something with them. You see, Hitler had an idea. Sometimes you have to use the extreme to make a point. I'm not inferring anything here. Maybe a little bit, but anyhow. So, Hitler had an idea that man was the problem, and that he was clogging the earth. There was too many people. Yeah, that's not a new idea. So he said, but somebody didn't get him doing the math. Because even now, with the amount of people that we have on Earth, if you took all the people that are currently on the face of the Earth, November 4th, 2008, and put them in Jacksonville, Florida, you would still have a little bit of space left over. Okay? That is a big planet. Have you ever taken the time to do some calculations? You don't want to see them. Okay? But there's a lot of space. We, human beings, actually take up about 3% of just the inhabitable space that is on the face of the Earth. Okay? It's a big planet. We are not causing a whole lot of problems. Okay? They hit the newspapers and the news when there's an oil spill or something like that, and they say, oh, look how terrible we are. Stop everything. It's just starting on trees and stuff. So the thing is, you know, I love those people. But they need to relax a little bit, and they need to look at both sides of the coin. Okay, we're going to get into a couple of little tangents here, but you're going to like them, okay? Right now, maybe you'll like them. If we dug in the Colorado Rockies, do you know that they know that there is more oil buried in the Colorado Rockies that they know of, reserves that we have detected already, just the ones that we know of, that some reason we have not been cleared by Mother Nature and all these groups that we can tap into them because we've been disturbing something, of course, that's endangered or whatever. But and instead, we're going to endanger the entire country instead. So, um, there is more oil presently in those reserves right there that is not tapped at all. There's more oil than we have ever used since we have started using oil as a resource. Let that one sink in. That's a lot of oil. We have such an abundant, vital source here in this country of engineering and ingenuity and all these jobs that could be created, and they can be done safely. We have OSHA and all these people and resources in place to keep a balance and to do it right. So why not just do it? Okay, let's help ourselves and do it responsibly. Okay, just like forestry in California. Did you see all the fires? If you've been paying attention to the news at all, and I don't pay much attention to it. Anybody that knows me will tell you that, because it's just more about selling stuff than anything else. There's not a whole lot of news that they hadn't had to go out and create and look under one rock or the other to get out. And most of those people would probably not rather have you be looking at their dirty laundry anyway. Some of them might like it, I don't know. Maybe they're into those things. So anyhow, forestry, responsible forestry. They wouldn't let these people go in there and do responsible forestry, and now the entire forest is gone. Nobody's able to look at it or use it or nothing. And we're not raping Mother Nature. Okay, you don't have to. People don't need to use these very critical terms to get their point across. You need to look at both sides of the coin. You need to be fair and you need to be balanced in your ideas, and you need to talk to people, not just say, "Well, we're gonna." Yeah. Let's talk about that. Okay, flat tax. Let's get into that. Okay. I like that little country song. It says, "If 10% is good enough for Jesus, well, it ought to be enough for Uncle Sam." So, I'll spare you the rest. But I think that's a great song. And it's got a great little point there that, you know what? You don't want to take away the incentive for the guy to work. And I was unemployed once for almost a whole year. Now, I was doing other things, but to keep busy, but I was unemployed for about 12 months. And, I did not feel good about myself a whole lot. But I kept trying. And I didn't get lucky either. I had a friend called me on a job, and now things are better. But the thing is this. We don't want to take away the incentive to work. We don't want to overtax anybody. We want everybody to do their fair share. I think that's the only way to do it. You can't just unplug taxes totally. Things kind of fall apart a little bit. And then it also doesn't penalize the guy for being successful. Does that make sense? So, because when it's 10% when you're a little guy, that's just a little bit. But when, just like when people say, "Oh, we want to bring industry into the town because they're going to pay most of our taxes," they usually do. And that's why a lot of them never last or have to move out of state because they're getting nailed with all the taxes. But anyhow, we need to change some more of that to make it more friendly for companies to come into Jersey and other places, on the East Coast where things, are not friendly for business. You got to make an awful lot of money. My father used to tell me when we were landscaping, he would say, "I have to make $3 to keep one." That's a crazy system. Worked his guts out all those years. It still is. So, at any rate, when you become wealthy, you don't want to start doing these things like they did back in the 70s where they said, "Oh, what? No, you're making too much money now," according to somebody. And so they said they had to get an excessive profits tax. Right? And then President Reagan came in office and he said, "Yeah, that's not a very good idea." So he got rid of that and our economy took off. Go figure. You see, this stuff has already been tried. Let's just work with what works. Okay? There's a couple other points here. You know what? I'm going to get cut off. If you want to watch them, great. If not, I can't keep doing this. I'm going to sign off for now.